What's up and welcome back to Nap Time Builder. Oh, don't look over there. Don't look over there, okay? Just kidding. That video is already out, but came into some complications. But today we're jumping over back on the 72. She got her own complications. If you seen the last video, we got power to it. We had headlights, taillights, blinkers, hazards. Even the wipers worked, and Lord, that was a surprise. But I had new gauges. I'm about to say I had new gauges put in it. I did it all. I put new gauges in it. I did not have the backlighting on the gauges power for some reason. And I had a couple sensors that I had to figure out, needed to figure out. So all the wiring still looks sloppy as crap under the hood. Everything else is tucked. So I've got a handful of wires left, a couple sensors. We need to throw some oil in this thing, get her primed up. I just go ahead and tell you, you ain't gonna like the way I did the sensors, okay? They look real janky, real hillbilly, real, I don't know, let's just pray that it works, okay? But that's all I'm gonna say about that. She's a mess. Look at all them wires. I did not button all these up and try to make them look all pretty to begin with. We're just trying to get them hooked up, make sure this thing's going to communicate with us and run before we worry about making these look better under the hood. Everything else is tucked away. But we'll have to get us a belt also. Figure out a few things. There's my new shop kitty. If y'all hadn't seen the other video, look, now she thinks she's going to hide, but she ain't staying her butt up in here. So, where to start? Here's one of my sensors. See that? Yeah, look at there. That's nice, ain't it? Here's another one. Whoop, is that? Yep, there's another one. Oh yeah, looks like a dadgum pipe, don't it? Homemade pipe. And here's where another one's gonna come out right behind the... I don't care as long as it semi-works, to be quite honest with you. So I'm probably going to have to pull the distributor up to get it out of the way to put them two in. And then we can do that other one down there at the bottom. All right, so there's my big ugly contraption down there. And there's that one and that one. One's to the fan, one's to the temp gauge. You know, whatever. We'll see if it works. Looking for any more wires under here that are not connected. The only one I'm seeing is this fan wire, but I've already got it hooked up right here. So I'm wondering if that was, it's been a little while since I messed with this. So I'm wondering if that was just like maybe a, to go to a second fan. Now, this one right here is for a ground for our temp sensor there. Obviously, I've not hooked it up yet. I don't want to hook it up to a permanent spot before routing my wires permanently, you know. So that's what that's all about. Uh-oh, dark up in her. Wanted to get some flashlights. But I told you that my gauges didn't have no power to them. I mean, they had power to them. No, the backlighting. And I'm thinking that I didn't hook that wire up. I think it's just dangling back there behind the dash. I'm going to try to go up from underneath. That way I ain't got to pull all that out. But we'll see how that goes. All right, so. Let's see if I can zoom in here. So yeah, empty prong right there. That's where my panel lights, or my instrument cluster lights, was plugged up. And I just hooked them up right there and verified that that wire was hooked up to all the lights on the others, or on the gauges. So I'm gonna set this back up here. Hopefully it'll stay. And then I still have to hook up this pink wire down here is for my fuel level. So I've got to run it under the carpet here to the back of the seat, or well, behind the seat to the gas tank. I think there might be a ground back there also. And then now I'm seeing this. That right there is a ground for the blower fan. And I'm not too worried about these. These are constant power and switch power for the radio. So I'm not so worried about those at the moment. But because I don't have a radio to put in anyways at the moment. But I'll find somewhere to ground that too, I guess. Then worry about hooking this fuel level gauge up. And then seeing if there's a ground back there. I think I also need to hook up the reverse wire to the transmission. I'm not sure if I've already done that one or not. And also, I need to figure out something for tag lights. I did get my bumper back on, but I do have to figure out something for tag lights. I'm not so sure that those lights actually work. And actually, I'm thinking the parts store might actually carry those. They're very basic. They're nothing special. I might get lucky there. I don't know. We shall see, okay? Looks like I might have to do a little, put a little caulking on a hole there. Where did these holes even come from? Oh, I created another one. Oh my goodness. What used to be? Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What was on this truck? Well, those are semi-uniform holes there. I don't get it. Any thoughts? Now, y'all don't get jealous. I know you seen that cowboy hat holder up there. It's staying by George. I don't even wear a cowboy hat, but it's staying. Will it fit my hat? Let's see. I mean, look at there. She ain't no cowboy hat, but it'll be just fine. It'll be just fine. Y'all, I was over here kind of trying to research, try to figure out why this thing has power constantly anytime the battery is connected with the key off or whatever. Over here trying to research, then old girl just comes up and jumps up in my lap and wants some loving. Apparently this is what having a shop cat's like. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? She needs to show me where them babies are, though, because she moved them on us, and my wife ain't too happy about that. So, but that's what I'm trying to figure out right now is I hooked up the ground for the blower motor. I ain't tested it yet. I hooked up the wire going back to the fuel level gauge, whatever. When I turned it on, it showed it I had like 3/4 of a tank. I then remembered that I have not yet changed out the new level thing, because them gauges came with a new level indicator thermadooger in there, float and everything, so I gotta change that out. That way that'll be right, because she's empty. She ain't 3/4 of a tank. But so I need to swap that out. I'm trying to figure out why this thing has power all the daggum time. If I can get that figured out, then I can put my stick my gauges back in, and then maybe use my little tool to pre-lube the engine. Since this thing's been sitting for so long and all that, or pre-lube it. Make sure our oil pump's working. Lord, I hope it is. I don't want to have to tear this thing apart. All right, so finally, I only have power when I turn the switch on. See there? Now that that's fixed, see what it was is this ignition power here. For some reason, they brought and like wired it off to this right here. I had fan power hooked up to this. And well, this has constant power because it's not ran to a switch, you know? So when I hooked my fan power up to that, it was giving my fan constant power all the time and backfeeding the system. So now that that's disconnected, I only have power when switch is on. Now, if you've seen this right here, we're showing 3/4 of a tank. That's because I have not replaced, or I have not installed the correct fuel lever gauge in the tank yet to go with these gauges. The hose is kind of in the way a little bit there. Oop. Throw it back there somewhere. How's my gasket look? Oh, she's ripped. Good thing it's new and come with one. Alright, so apparently this thing is adjustable. See the screw there and the one down at the bottom. You can raise her up and down a little bit. And then you adjust this bad boy on there as well. If I back up, you can see on there as well, depending on your tank depth. It tells you which length A and B should be. B being up and down, A being the length of your float arm. So, lovely. I get to measure, which, you know, I'm cool with measuring. That's fine and all. But, so they're leaving it up to me, so if it don't read right, it'll be my fault. I would rather it be their fault, you know what I'm saying? So, I guess let's break out the tape measure and see how deep she is. Alright, so I measured it's like 14 1/4. I thought they got 14 and 14 1/2 right here. I'm gonna go with 14. So my length for A should be 8 15/16. And my length for B should be 7 1/8. So, alrighty then. I'm gonna do B first, and then we'll attach to it here. So 7 1/8. Measuring from here. Okay, never mind. Maybe you have to do A first. Okay. Alright, so I had to use some snips and cut my float arm here down. And then it didn't give me nothing to attach it to. Like, you slide it through that hole, and it goes back through that other hole there and comes through, but it didn't give me nothing to attach it to. So I used a little hose clamp, a very tiny one, smallest one I could find. Got them clamped together, measured out from the center here to the little center there. And it's 7 1/8. And now I got to do 8 15/16 from the bottom side here, also down to the center there. So that's 8 7/16. I believe just loosen up this screw and this screw, or nope. Maybe just that one screw then, looks like. Maybe up and down. Or if I don't do enough, then adjust that up there. First, we need to measure. I can do this one-handed. Man, we're showing about 7 3/8. Is that what you're saying? If I can hold it as straight as possible. Oh, we'll call it 7 1/4. I gotta go 8 15/16. So Let's try that one right there. All right, so a little double checking. Rooster going crazy out there. 7/8. 8 and 15/16. Got it all snugged up. Now we'll weasel that thing down in there with the new gasket. All right, there she is, all mounted up. It did not have a spot for the ground wire. Ended up not needing it. So. I don't know. Something else we can take out, I guess. Get that thing open to be able to use it is the question. Whatever, it's fine. But I will have to replace these little hoses. They're dry rotted and everything. But with the switch turned on, oh, if I can get down here to it, it's showing just a tiny bit of gas. Gas light's still on, but it's showing just a little bit. To get the holes to line up just right, if you've messed with these old in-tank units, then you know the holes are not the same all the way around. I mean, there's only 5 of them. There's a certain way you have to have it. Well, the way they had it, I felt like it was scraping the side of the tank just a little bit with it, where the holes would line up like that. And so I might just have to live with that. If it bothers me that bad later on, we'll have to go back and check up on that. I am getting to the end of my time that I have today, though, unfortunately. Well, I'm not finding that bucket wire. I had it dangling. I may have hooked it up. But I did realize something. See the drive shaft here? You see it right there? That's that small gap under there. Hey, this was a long bed if y'all been around for a little while. So carrier bearing or whatever it was mounted there, right? It was a 2-piece drive shaft. Now she's a 1-piece. And I need to cut those out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 rivets there. I need to remember to cut them out tomorrow. It's already about 3:30 now. Yeah, boy, I got to go to work. I'm on night shift, so yeah. Don't everybody work on trying to finish up wiring vehicles before they go into work on night shift? Surely. At this point, I'm about convinced everybody does it. But anyways, so we've got some sensors hooked up. Figured out our issue on having power constantly. Make sure I turn this switch off. Oh yeah, switch is off. And I am gonna unhook the battery though, just to make sure. But tomorrow, come out, we gotta cut them 4 rivets, take that bracket off there. That way we won't end up cramming our drive shaft down on it. I filled it up with oil. Got the sensors on with my little weird contraptions. I will have to run that fan power wire that was hooked up to that constant power that was causing us to have constant power. I do have to figure out exactly where I gotta run that to. I feel like it, I don't know, dude. I don't know what I'm doing. That's the reason nobody watches these videos, because I ain't got a clue. We'll see y'all tomorrow. I gotta get ready for work, unfortunately. All right, y'all, so I've been super busy here lately. Not been able to spend as much time on it the truck as I wanted to. And also it's mostly been like an hour here, an hour there, stuff like that. But I did get a few things done. So just to catch you up. Got the distributor in. Plug wires, it looks crazy right now. I don't really care for the yellow, but that's what come with what I bought, so whatever. Got the fuel line ran, put a inline filter on it, ran down. Throttle is halfway connected. I'm gonna have to mess with that to make it just right for this carburetor. But I still need a belt, and there was something else. I can't remember. Can't remember. Anyways, also got my new transmission lines ran. So here is where we're at. I think I'm about ready to turn this thing over just to see if it tries to crank. Obviously, there's no gas in the gas tank and all that. I'm just trying to see. I have already primed the engine with oil, so I'm not worried there either. So, at the moment, I'm just trying to get some life out of this thing, okay? It would help if I hooked up the battery cable. So, let's try that. How about that? Done. As you could tell there, my starter solenoid is making some racket. And you know, after sitting down and thinking for a few minutes, I believe this is the starter solenoid that I once took off the Jeep and went to help. You know, took it off the Jeep just in case I needed it to help with Dad's stuff over there, get going out of the field one day. But when I first put it on the Jeep, it was stuck. There was a couple times, like I had to tap it. Because there was a couple times as soon as you touch the battery cable to the battery, it was trying to start. So I'm thinking this might be the one, that one. So I know for sure that the Jeep now has a brand new one because, you know, I drove it to the car show. If you've seen that video, if you didn't, go check it out. The Jeep was actually on the road. I know, I'm just as shocked as you are. Don't mean I wasn't scared to death driving the mug there either, okay? But, so I think I'm gonna go snatch that one off the Jeep, bring it over here, see if I can get a little life in this thing. That way I know if I need to buy a new starter solenoid or if I got another issue. At this moment, I'm pretty sure it's starter solenoid, but we'll do that to make sure, okay? All right, so there's the old one. Here's the one from the Jeep. Let's see if we can, you know, get anything more than what we did have. Battery is connected. All right, so obviously that didn't sound good. I feel like it was a stronger buzzing this time. I have a small suspicion. I wonder if the starter solenoid is not grounded good enough. That is a small suspicion I have. So I might take that off there and try to sand down or grind down a smooth bare metal spot and put it back, and hopefully we can get a little bit better. Also, I am using, you know, old, rough battery cables and stuff, you know, so, I mean, it might be part of it. You know, sometimes that using what you got ain't always the best, because sometimes what you got ain't always the best, okay? So, you know, I'm gonna get my wire wheel or whatever that's close enough that can help me get that. And I might need to get some better screws to put that in there as well. So let's see. All right, so I just grabbed some different screws and stuff and got that secured a little bit more. I feel like the starter solenoid is secured good enough that it should work. Like, that's not being the problem. Because I know that one's brand new and it worked just fine. So, honestly, I kind of feel like the other ones are all right. I mean, he had a bad day or two, you know, but it'd be fine. But with that buzzing sound, I just got it again 2 or 3 times. I've got to have like a bad connection somewhere or something. That's kind of where I'm at the moment. I mean, look at this. These right here are the cables that was on this thing to begin with, and that was chewed up by some rats, and your boy taped them up, okay? So, and same thing with the negative. But I've got a bad connection somewhere is what I feel like. Because right now this thing ought to be turning over for me. All I wanted is for it to turn over, maybe spritz a little gas in the carburetor just to get it to fire off. Didn't even care if it ran and idled and all that crap. I just wanted it to crank up like fire. That way I knew what I've done so far is good. And then I can just go about cleaning, like unhooking my wire and cleaning it up, shortening it up, putting it where it has to go in a better looking fashion. And then get down to the nitty gritty of making it run and idle and all that other crap. All I wanted to do. But I have got to have a bad connection somewhere. I don't feel like both of them starter solenoids are bad. I did not sand off a bare spot over there, but it is screwed into the metal good. I mean, I've had worse connections than that and it worked, you know what I'm saying? So, but I don't know. All right, just to clear my conscience, I went ahead and ground down the bare metal there behind that. That way the whole thing was being grounded real well. And put it back on the wall. Or on the fender, inner fender. Tried it again and we're still buzzing. We got a bad connection somewhere. So. And I'm about to have to go get ready for church. It's Wednesday night. So, with that being said, bye-bye once again, you non-running turd. Okay? Whatever it is, it's my fault. But, sometimes you just get tired of it all being your fault. You gotta blame somebody else. I'm gonna blame the truck, okay? We'll come back out tomorrow I'll come back out in the morning after my workout before the kids wake up. And then hopefully we can get these heathen stacks. So take a nap tomorrow. I'll come out then too. I'd love to get this thing to fire off and we can end this video. So, might just get her to fire off. We'd finish this video. Because we've done a lot of dadgum wiring, okay? My goodness. All right, so what we got going on? I talked about them daggum battery cables being, you know, the ones that was on the truck. They're terrible looking, okay? They're terrible. I don't know that that is the issue. Ooh, come on now. I don't know that that is the issue, but it's one that we're going to try to address, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take those battery cables off. That way I know the length of them. And we're going to cheap boy some battery cables, you know what I'm saying? Rip these apart. I mean, there's 12 foot of battery cable right there, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be all right. It'd be all right. It'd be all right. I got me a little, picked up a little kit there, and a little crimping tool. You know, I get to bang on it a little bit, take out some of my frustrations. But I'm gonna get them off, that way I know the length, and all that good stuff. And then we'll make us some new cables, and we'll hope and pray to the good Lord that she all of a sudden does what she is supposed to do and like turn over. Cause that's what I need right now. I need her to turn over and act like she wants to run. Otherwise my mind is gonna, you know, start messing with me. Well, it's early in the morning. I don't know why I got sunglasses on top. I mean, the sun's coming up slowly, but I ain't outside. I don't know why I got sunglasses on. All right, so here is my power cable. See how much tape I have on that thing? I told you that was rough. I'm gonna untape this just so you know just how bad she was. And I'm gonna let you think to yourself for a moment and see if you think this might be part of the problem. Because these mugs is rough, man. Get over. Huh. Yeah, she's rough, dude. Apparently the rats was all up in it. I'm listening. Sorry, my preacher's messaging me. We're trying to come up with an idea for some decorations. Vehicle-wise. At the church. So, you know. Dadgummit. No, I can't get out. We're not going to do it, okay? It's going to take me forever because it took me forever to tape them up, knowing that this mug probably wasn't going to be the best. Anyways, I got my length. This was a little longer, but I need that length there. It'll be fast, okay? We're going to bust this thing open, cut us off a piece this length, and put us on a thingamadooger on the end there. And all that jazz. Look at there. Oh, they even got a little carry cut down. I mean, look, y'all. These are 8 gauge. Which also looks to be the same size as what was on the anyways. Winter chicken dinner, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna snip these off. And all that good stuff. And I mean, I got 12 foot here, you know what I'm saying? And we'll do what she do. I mean, all right. And you know, just like that, we got a brand spanking new one. See there? So now I just get to do this now with the 2 negatives, or the 2 ground cables. So let's jump to it. I'm not expecting a whole lot because my thoughts are a little down, if I'm being honest, because you know, you kind of a hit in the gut after you completely wire up a whole vehicle and you get nothing but a little buzzing from the dadgum starter solenoid. You get a little knocked down, okay? I've been knocked back about 3 or 4 steps, okay? So here we go. We're going to try her out. got clicking. I didn't quite have 12 volts in there. Let me see if it's. Oh, goodness gracious. Put my daggum little jumper here on. She ain't fully charged either, but it'll to help it some. I can get her on a flat surface here. Oh, she only got 1 bar out of 3. That's not good. All right, try this again. Yeah, switch on. All right, look, we got clicking. We got clicking now. Before, it was just buzzing. So obviously this is, my goodness. So this jumper box is dead. I got 2 more. Let's see if one of them has charge. All right, so I found 2 of my 3 jump boxes. No idea where the other one is. Both that I have found are completely dead. I have them plugged up now. So I'm thinking about going and just stealing a battery off the truck. One of my other trucks, you know, one that actually runs. To see if we can get any life out of this thing. All right, so let's try this with a different battery that we know is good for sure. What do we have going on here? Sound like just a starter kind of a free spinning or something there, didn't it? So, not exactly sure what's going on. I heard the little, this little screeching at first, and then it sounded like just a complete free spin. Not a not exactly sure. But the replacing that power cable, looks like we're getting power to the starter now. So that's a plus. But the starter's not turning the engine over, and that's a minus. So yeah. What the crap? I don't know. We're gonna have to figure something out. Yeah. But I'm about to go in here because one of my kiddos just woke up. Other than be up soon, I'm sure. Then we'll have to cook a little breakfast and do a little homeschooling while I, the whole time, wonder what I messed up on, type of deal. So, yeah. Let's go do that. I've been doing a whole lot of that here lately, by the way. Closer I get to getting her to fire up, the more and more thoughts and all that I have about where I might have screwed up. So I'll see y'all later. Hopefully I think of something. Well, y'all, I'm at a little bit of a loss at the moment because I was doing a little research, and apparently bad ground, or, you know, I did change the positive cable. That's when we started getting the starter actually spinning. But if it's not getting enough power, so then, you know, other cables could be bad. If it's not getting enough power or grounded enough, then it could send just enough power to it to spin the starter but not engage the starter. So I just finished replacing the other cable going from the starter, other side of the starter solenoid down to the starter, and also a brand new ground cable as well. Exact same issue. So my next step is, I wonder, it's not happening today because I've spent a lot more time than I'd like to admit today, researching and just doing some cables and trying a couple times. But I think next step, I'm probably going to pull the starter off, and I can bench test it, check and see, make sure. I mean, I shouldn't have a problem with the teeth on the flywheel or flex plate, whatever. Sorry, my mind's a little messed up, but I shouldn't have a problem with teeth because they all looked fine when I put this combo together. This is the only time I've tried it, so unless this 3 or 4 times I've tried it has ate all the teeth off of it, I shouldn't have an issue there. I'm mostly wondering about the starter, but the starter's only like a year or 2 old. I bought it brand new, and it's not been used this year too. It's been sitting, but could be a faulty starter. I don't know. So kind of at a standstill on that. So, and I go back to day shift tomorrow, and I ain't got nothing done that I wanted to do while I've been off due to weather and other things. All right, so finally found time to take this daggum starter off. And it looks like it works just fine. So what I'm thinking is I have the wrong starter. Like I said, I had bought this starter before ever swapping this truck to the C4 transmission. Before it had the 3-speed on the column. I don't know if I still have that flex plate, flywheel, or whatever. If I do, I need to count the teeth on it. And then see if I can count the teeth on this and to see if they are different. That's not it, that's the one I stole off the Torino. But I need to figure that out. I'm wondering if, either starter or the flex plate's different, which either way, I'd have to get a new starter on that one. So, I mean, I guess at least we know our starter works, and now we have to figure out I believe that transmission came out of a 68 Torino. Is what that's what I think. That's what I believe I was told. So I need to. Apparently I gotta do some research, and I don't even know. Is that it up there? I think it. Pretty sure. I gotta count some teeth. Alright, so you probably can't hear me because the fans are blowing, but your boy's fat and it's hot, okay? It's 90 degrees already in Alabama. So the fan's on. Sorry. So, the flex plate, whatever, dude. I mix them up all the daggum time. The one that came off of it, that was in it with the 3-speed on the tree, that I bought the starter for in the first place, is 164 tooth. Obviously, I can't measure everything with the thing combined, motor and trans in there and all that. I only see so much of it. But measuring best I can, that's 157 tooth. I got one ordered. They claiming to be here this evening, but your boy won't be here this evening. I'll be going till work. So I'm gonna pick that up tomorrow. Hope and pray we can get this engine to turn over tomorrow, okay? That's what I'm shooting for at this point. So, and that starter works fine, but I don't really need it because I just don't need it. And there's a $40 core, so I guess they getting that starter for $40, okay? I'm sure I paid more for it. It'll be all right. But we'll see y'all tomorrow when we hopefully have a new starter and hopefully attempt to get that engine to turn over. All right, I'm out. Stressed. Surprise, surprise, in North Alabama, and this time of year it's raining, okay? It's a lot. Like 2 minutes ago it wasn't. As soon as I got out here, it started. Grabbed the belt. She's tiny. Look at her. Oh, I got the daggum alternator and the water pump, but no. I'll keep it, because why not? But I will have to measure, and then after we get back from the beach, I'll have to go see if I can find one that's close enough. But we got the new starter. Hopefully that one works for me. It would be nice to finally end the video on a good note, you know what I'm saying? Because your boy's been having problems after problems after problems. Starting to think, maybe I'm just not cut out for this, Maybe I'm just not. Maybe not. So, I guess let's throw this thing on and see if we got any change in the situation. All right, so belt didn't work out for us, okay, but the new starter is installed. We're gonna hope and pray this thing actually turns over instead of just spins the starter and don't engage, you know what I'm saying? Last one was a manual, was a starter for a manual, so this one's for automatic. Hopefully, Cool. At this point, I'm just crossing my fingers and saying a little prayer, because the rest of my stuff ain't been going all that great for me. So we're just trying to end this video on a good note, okay? Because I'm going on vacation either way. I'd rather go in a good mood and not thinking the whole time, what is that? What's the problem? So let's try this. So that was the problem with the engine not turning over. She had the wrong starter. That'll do it every time, you know what I'm saying? I should have thought about that, but I had so many other things I was thinking about that I just didn't think. She turned over. So I can't just leave it at that. She ain't gonna, if she does fire up, it's not gonna run good at all. There's still a couple small things here and there it's missing. But I think we're gonna, of course it's raining, so it ain't gonna be good audio either way. But I'm thinking about opening this garage door. I'm gonna spritz a little bit of something in the carburetor just to see if it catches and wants to do something, okay? That's what we're gonna do. Way too much. All right, well, I'm about to kill the battery and the dadgum jump box and everything too. I'm trying so much. But hey, she turns over and that's a dadgum big old step for me. Now y'all, I know this is not the video that you wanted, okay? Maybe not even the video that you needed. But you know, life happens. Your boy works full-time job. I got young kids. We homeschool. We got chickens, all that crap. If you've been keeping up with me or my wife, then you know that we got a whole herd of daggum cats we're trying to nurse up right now until they're old enough to get them a home. We got a lot of things going on, and honestly, my vehicles have been taking the back burner here recently, and I'm not too happy about it. Ever since I started trying to work out and get in better shape and everything, that's taking more time out of the shop. I'm not too happy about that either, but you know, I can't put more hours in the day. But I am trying to put more years on my life, you know what I'm saying? So if it's an hour less in the shop every time I get to come out here just so I can get hopefully a little healthier and everything, then it's whatever. It does suck that it takes time away from the vehicles though, and a lot of my mind, like, you know, my thinking and everything. But she turns over. The wiring is at least pretty good, because I mean, she turns over with the key and the dash and everything, and I'm pretty sure that I just need to set my timing and everything. I do need to get a manual choke cable as well. I forgot to do that. Hopefully after we get back from vacation, I can get a manual choke cable and measure and go get the right belt for the truck. That would help. So, sorry that it's taking so long. But when you work crazy swing shift, 50, 60 hours a week, you got home life too, you're trying to get in better shape as well, the trucks don't always get all the attention that they need as soon as they need it. So, you know, I guess the next video on the 72 here will be cleaning up the wiring, trying to get the timing and everything set. Hopefully get this thing fired up. At least we know she'll turn over now. We got the right starter. That's a plus right there. But you know, a manual starter wouldn't work on a automatic transmission. You know, who would have thought? I mean, I don't know who would have thought that. Apparently, I had too many other things on my mind. But thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate it. You know, hopefully one day. I mean, she's closer than she was. When I got her, she was stuck. And she's a long beam. And she is a little higher and a lot more rustier and didn't have new carpet and good looking interior. My bad, that seat don't look good. You know, new carpet, we'll leave it there. She got new gauges. They work, you know. We've made progress. It's just not as fast as we'd like it sometimes. Appreciate y'all. You know, next video is gonna be on the 55. Just pretend like you didn't see nothing back there, okay? Absolutely nothing. You didn't see nothing. Nothing happened, okay? We'll see y'all.